Welcome to our broiler chicken farm tour. Broiler chicken farming is the most popular in the poultry industry. Well, what are broilers? Broilers are those birds that are genetically modified for meat production. They can get from day-old chicks to maturity in just 6 weeks. In this video, I will walk you through our broiler chicken farm setup. Please note that construction is still going on, but I'll walk you through what have been done so far. While I grab a bottle of water to clear my throat, please hit that subscribe button. I'll be right back. Welcome back. Once you walk into the fence, to the left hand side, you're going to find a biosecurity bucket for you to actually wash your hands. We take biosecurity implementation extremely seriously. You have to wash your hands once you get in. It's a bucket full of water and chlorine. Wash your hands to be able to make sure that you don't bring in diseases. And to the left hand side of the building, of the entrance, you're going to find our office. This is our farm office. So we're going to go through the office. And you're going to see how our entire office is set up. This is where we issue receipts when people come to buy day-old chicks. This is also where we store things like vaccines. This is also where we issue receipts. And as you can see, to the right hand side, there is a little window where we issue receipts. The customers, they will pick up their goods, come through this particular window and grab their receipt. Where our sales manager sits, the sales manager will capture everything in the computer and then send out the receipt. To the right hand side of the sales manager's table is the thermal printer. We use this particular printer to print the labels for our packaged chicken, because after 7 weeks we actually package our chicken and put it in our store, which I'm going to show you in a little bit. You're going to be able to see our store implementation. And to the left hand side of the sales manager's office is our fridge, and we have water that we normally greet our customers. When the customers come, we give them a bottle of water to actually greet them. And this is pretty much our office setup. We don't allow customers to come in here. It's mainly for our employees. Customers generally stand outside to actually process their transaction. Nobody is allowed inside the office except the employees. Now, moving on, we're going to move on into our hatchery. This is our hatchery building. Next to the hatchery, you have the storage and the broiler house, but I'm going to focus on the hatchery building for right now. In the past, we used to use this particular hatchery building for training, for our vocational training, Otter Farms Academy, but we've actually converted it. The Otter Farms Academy has been migrated to a different center. We're going to do a separate video on Otter Farms Academy, showing you the courses that we offer, our training center. It's a high-tech training center that students are able to learn. You'll be able to learn both online and as well as you'll be able to come to our centers and learn. So we're going to do a separate video as far as that is concerned. But this area right here is currently being used as the hatchery. As right now, I think we have some egg. Some egg came in earlier. We had 2,000 eggs that came in earlier, and they are actually getting ready to go into the incubator. We're going to show you the incubator in a little bit. This right here is our standing air conditioner. So once the egg arrive, we want to put them in this particular egg cooling room. This is what we call the egg cooling room. So we put them in here, we store them in here for at least 24 hours before putting them into the incubator. So as you can see, with the eggs just arrive and the temperature is still high. We're still at 23 degrees Celsius, but it's going to go down to about 16 degrees Celsius because you want to make sure that the eggs are cooled down. You don't want the incubation process to start early. If you do not cool them down, if you leave them in a heat environment, the incubation process is going to start early. So you want to make sure that the egg cooling room is cool. Our plan is to remove remove the standing AC and actually put an air conditioner in the wall. We actually have a technician that's actually coming for that. So right next to the egg cooling room is actually our incubation room. This is where you have this setter and hatcher. This is a setter and hatcher in one. I think I did it wasn't a full video, it was a short that shows our 10,000 capacity incubator. This is our 10,000 capacity incubator right here. We have multiple of them coming in from China because our setup is for us to be able to handle 100,000 capacity day, to be able to produce 100,000 capacity day old chicks every 3 weeks. So that is pretty much our implementation. That every 3 weeks we are able to produce 100,000 capacity. So we have some other incubators coming in from China. But this is absolutely massive, extremely massive. It takes 10,000 eggs. I'm going to show you in a little bit how we actually lay the eggs in the in those baskets, in those egg trays, before actually moving them into the incubator. But unfortunately, for biosecurity reasons, once the egg goes in the egg tray and it goes into the incubator, this whole area is locked down, completely locked down. Nobody has access. You can see we have a stabilizer that actually stabilizes the current, and we have a water supply system that is connected to the incubator. And all of them, they're going to have the same exact setup like this: a 5,000 watt stabilizer, as well as the water line to actually control the amount of water that goes into the incubator, because the incubator uses water to be able to send out the humidity. So it's been more than 24 hours, and one of our employees came in and earlier this morning and set all the eggs on the egg tray, and everything is actually getting set for the incubator. So we're gonna move it now into the incubators. Now everything is inside the incubators. The eggs are all set in the incubators. Unfortunately, at this particular junction, because they just moved the eggs into the incubator, we cannot open it. We cannot open it as of right now. So but I'm going to do another video on the days of the candling as well as the day old chick. So that was our hatchery center. The next, we're going to look at the other structures in our broiler farm. And again, work is still ongoing. That's why you see most of the places they're going to have a landscaper. The landscaper will come and do some landscaping work. But that was our hatchery. Let's now move on to the next. I'm going to show you the storage, the chicken processing center, as well as the brooding houses. We have two different brooding houses. To the right hand side is the storage. We'll go inside in a minute, but for now, let's focus on the brooding house. But to the right hand side is the storage, and right behind the storage is a little area where we actually process our chicken. You're going to see there are a total of 6 different sinks in there for 6 different employees, which enables us to be able to process about 100 chicken a day. But we're going to actually go into that in a minute. So just focus on the brooding section right now. We have a 5,000 gallon over there to actually capture water and send into the incubation center, into the hatchery. But here is our brooding center. We've done several videos, especially a lot of shots showing you our day old chicks. We were supposed to have our day old chicks this morning because our incubators are still running and we do not have any chicks. So we had to order some from some partner companies, but unfortunately, again, when doing business in Cameroon, especially in Cameroon, a lot of companies will disappoint you. That's why we always recommend controlling the entire value chain process from farm all the way to production, all the way to the market. Sorry. So you can see we have some leftover maize. I mean, that hasn't been threshed. This maize is from our farm. We have 3 hectares of maize farm that we plan on shutting down to actually purchase maize. But this is the second section. This is the second brooding house, and our process is every single week we get 1,000 chick. So the first every 2 weeks, every 2 weeks we get 1,000 chicks, day-old chicks going in. Now let's go and show you the two guys that are responsible for the security in the farm. You have Lion and Lola. These two dogs are extremely wild. Look at how they are going. Like they are crossbreed of Rottweiler and German Shepherd. So extremely tough dogs. They are responsible for farm security. And this is the 5,000 capacity broiler house right there. I'm going to go in a little bit, but before I show you the broiler house, let's look at our processing center. So as I said, after 7 weeks, we generally just move into processing. We start processing the chicken because you don't want to leave them in the farm for too long. It's going to cost you a lot of money through feed. So we bring them in here and when we package them, slaughter and package them in those in the packaging, and we create those labels using the label makers that I showed you earlier. And once we package everything, we take them to our store. I'm going to show you some samples of the packaged chicken, some of the chicken that we've packaged. I think if you're interested in us doing a video showing you how we actually package our chicken, let us know in comments below, and we're going to show you. I'm going to do a whole separate video that shows you how we do the packaging. This is the weighing station. We use this machine to weigh the chicken. The weigh actually enables us to determine the weight. This one we use to actually measure the temperature of the water. The water temperature has to be between 160 to 190 degrees Fahrenheit for you to before you dip the chicken inside for packaging. So in order to create a vacuum inside the bag, you have to actually make sure that the water is between 160 degrees to 190 degrees Fahrenheit. Next, we have these measuring scales. These measuring scales will help you give you the weight of the chicken in both kilograms and pounds. But generally in Cameroon, people are not familiar with the pound system. The pound metric unit, they use kilograms. So we generally will weigh the chicken to be able to determine the price, and the price is based on the weight of the chicken. So this is extremely helpful. This is handy. It comes really handy for us to be able to get the weight of the chicken. We also have these zip ties to be able to close the bags, and the knife sharpener. We generally use those knife sharpener as well to sharpen the knife when we're doing when we're doing evisceration. So when we're eviscerating the chicken, we use the knife sharpener to actually sharpen the knife to get a perfect job done. And these ones here, these are the bags. These are the vacuum bags that we actually use to actually package our chicken. The chicken vacuum bags. We have different sizes for bigger chicken. We use the bigger bags and smaller ones, and also for the parts we use the smaller ones. And this is where we heat the water. So those two big pots will heat the water until when it's about, again, as I said, 160 to 190 degrees. We dip them in those bags and for processing to be able to remove all the air in the bag. And again, the sanitary, the cleanliness, we always want our processing center to be extremely clean. We have a separate team that comes in and clean every single day. Moving on from the processing center where we process our chicken, we're going to now see our storage room. This is where we store feed. Sometimes we store them in the chicken house. There's this compartment in there, but generally we store the feed. We try to store the feed and other materials in here. We make sure that we also have our deep freezers where we store the packaged chicken. Everything is frozen in there before we transport them. You can see some of we have some drinkers and feeders also in here. We store a lot of materials. Some employees have some of their items in there, which generally we don't recommend that, but again, we're going to be partitioning this particular room into two because the area where we have our chicken, as you can see, these are some of the packaged chicken. These are the chicken that we've already slaughtered and packaged everything. You see, this one is this one's at 3,500 francs CFA. That's about $7, approximately $7 for each of those. each chicken is about $7. So the cheapest is pretty much about $7, and it start from $7 upward. And now let's look at the poultry house. This is the main poultry house, 5,000 capacity, and you can see the roofing. We pay close attention to the roofing. Aeration is very, very important. We want to make sure that there's enough air coming in from the top. We don't want a situation where there's too much gas inside the room, and that can actually cause some of these chicken. It can give them illnesses. It can actually cause them to fall sick. We do not want that. You don't want gas. You want a lot of aeration. You can see that we have some bags that actually that goes all around. Those black tarpaulin bags that are going all around the chicken house, the poultry house. That is to be able to control the amount. Sometimes rain might flash in, and sometimes also heat, the sun. There might be too much sun, so that is to control the rain, also to control the amount of sun that comes in. We normally raise it or close it depending on the temperature. And these ones are the you have multiple batch in this particular room. These ones are 4 weeks old. These are the 4 weeks old batch that there are 1,000 of them. 1,000 4 weeks old batch that we move from the brooding room into the broiler room. We have, again, as we said, we generally do it in increments of 2 weeks. So every 2 weeks we have 1,000 batch that goes into the brooding into each of those brooding room. After 2 weeks, we remove them from the brooding room into this particular poultry house, and every single section is being partitioned. And you can see there was a batch that was right here that just got finished. And this batch was picked up because this is peak season. We sold 1,000 within 3 days. So once they were ready within 3 days, this is what is left from that 1,000 batch. Within 3 days, we had 1,000 sold in the market. We have this middlemen. We call them buy and sellers in Cameroon. They just come and they take everything in hundreds. One buy and seller normally takes about 300 from us and just take it to the market and go sell. This is another batch that this one is 6 weeks old. Actually, this is 6 weeks old. This particular batch is 6 weeks old. Some of them grow bigger than others. That's why you see we tend to partition the smaller ones. We put them in a different space, and the bigger ones, because the bigger ones will tend to eat more. They will fight more. They have more energy. They will be able to push the smaller ones. That's why we tend to separate. These are the smaller ones. It's the same batch, but some are bigger and some are smaller. So once they are, because even though they are 5 weeks old, some of them are already so big that they are ready for the market, and we tend to put them to the side, and for customers that are interested, they will come and they will buy. But again, generally the live chicken we sell at 3,500. And next to our brooding house, next to our poultry house is the hospitality center. Right at the end right there, you're going to see the hospitality center. We tend to isolate the chicks or the birds that are sick. We tend to put them in a particular compartment, and this is the house. Each particular poultry house is going to have its own hospitality center right there. That is the hospitality center. And right now, this is the area right here is for the second poultry house. Construction is supposed to start next month. The construction of the second poultry house. This is another 5,000 capacity poultry house that we're supposed to start construction next month. So once we start construction, I definitely will do a separate video. I have my team on the ground. They are actually taking videos on a daily basis, and they will send it to me, and I will actually compile them and upload them to YouTube so that you guys see how we are able to construct our poultry houses. Moving on from the poultry house is our generator, standby generator center, as well as the restroom. The restroom is to the left, and the generator center is right there in front of us. This you want to have, again, you definitely want a standby generator in your farm. And also, you definitely want a restroom, because you want the employees, you don't want people, or even the workers, the contractors, the workers that are coming for construction, You don't want them to just go everywhere and pee and defecate, and no, you don't want none of that. You want a good, clean center for where all the employees are able to use the restroom, take a shower. First thing in the morning, once the employee gets here, the first thing they want to do is take a shower. They need to take a shower for biosecurity reasons. The place have to always be clean. The generator center, you need a generator in your farm, very important. With too much power outages in Cameroon, I would recommend everybody having a generator in their farm. We are actually ordering a much bigger generator. What you see right there is just a smaller version, and that one is going to our store, but we're gonna have a bigger version coming in from China. And that is our entire farm right now. The broiler, and again, this is just the broiler chicken farm. You want to separate your broiler farm from the layer farm. You always want to separate that. You do not want to mix both of them. It's very, very important. Broilers are highly disease prone. Layers layers are not as disease prone as broilers, so you want to separate them. It's extremely important. Now, to conclude, I'm just going to give you a sneak peek of our store. Again, we are still bringing in the chicken. We are still processing is still going on, but these are some of the ones that have been processed so far, and we brought them to the store. These are the processed chicken in the display fridge in our store. But we'll do a separate video of the store once the store is fully set up, showing you all the items, the drinkers that we sell, the feeders that we sell, the poultry feed that we sell. We sell a lot of stuff in our store. Thank you so much for taking the time to go through our entire farm tour. In order not to miss out on any of our videos, please hit the subscribe button and smash that notification bell so that once we upload the next videos, you'll be the first to know. Thank you, and see you in the next video.